Hi everyone, my name is Avi Sharma and I'm the Director of Product Management at Avaamo. And today in this video we're going to be diving into Avaamo's runtime engines. Now our platform has three such engines that enable us to drive our vision of automating every conversation in the enterprise. A dialogue engine, a cognitive search engine, and a voice engine. Now in this video we're going to be focusing on the third one, the voice engine, and explore how it brings together various voice native features in the platform, including things like voice entity modeling, support for SSML or speech synthesis markup language, being able to support human prosody, right? Rhythm, tone, cadence, branded voices, training voices that sound like you or me, and many other kind of aspects of our voice native features. Now, while I'm going to be talking about this engine, the voice engine in isolation, it is really important to keep in the back of our minds that all of our engines, the dialogue, voice, and cognitive search, actually work in concert, right, in parallel to help Avaamo's virtual assistants understand and fulfill user goals. Now, at the highest level, there are several problems that the AI voice technology in Avaamo's platform has solved, and this kind of relates to the goals of this engine. The first is to be able to provide natural, human-sounding voices, right? Voices that are almost indistinguishable from you or me. Now, the second thing is to be able to accelerate how quickly we can train these assistants. And this is where we've had a lot of breakthroughs in things like direct speech-to-intent training, where we can bypass taking an utterance that we're understanding using automatic speech recognition, converting it to text, and then applying natural language understanding techniques on top of the text. Now, instead of doing that, we can go directly from the audio to understanding the intent, right? So these are some of the ways in which we can accelerate training. And the last goal of the system is to provide the infrastructure with things like Programmable Voice to enable faster development of voice assistants. Whereas before, it might take you many iterations to deploy the assistant in a contact center stack solution, train it, and then actually try it out. You can now, as we'll see in just a second, be able to do it very quickly from the platform itself. So the tooling was a big piece of the puzzle that the voice engine helps tackle. Now to start with, let's take a look at this notion of voice entity models. Now what I've done is I'm inside of the Avaamo platform, and you're looking at a particular entity type. Now entities, just as an aside, are the concepts in natural language understanding that represent things like nouns, places, people, things. In this case, enterprise applications. And these are the concepts in a user utterance that, as part of natural language understanding, that will extract to help with downstream tasks like intent classification, sentiment analysis, or dialogue and state management. Now, this entity, as with many entities in the Avaamo platform, when you pull it into your virtual assistant to help it understand various things about the world, it'll come with two different things. It'll come with the actual collection of entities, as well as how it might be understood in the context of voice. So we provide IPA, phonetic alphabet pronunciations that help the system pronounce or generate, in terms of a speech synthesis context, how this entity would be pronounced, as well as training for how you might actually interpret or understand when someone says Microsoft Active Directory. And so you can actually upload voice entity models right here to help train the system in recognizing variations, including accents, for how people might pronounce this entity, which is a very powerful way of building into the actual entity itself the understanding of speech recognition. The second thing we're going to learn about in this video is going to be this notion of speech synthesis markup language, or programmable voice. So what we can actually do here is include in all of our assistants in this channel agnostic environment. You can actually develop all of our assistants using this GUI, this low-code, no-code platform. And once you create an assistant in this way, you can deploy it across many different channels, including phone, in this case, right, an IVR channel, as well as text-based channels, enterprise messaging channels, consumer-facing channels, things like WhatsApp, Facebook, and then, of course, as I mentioned, enterprise messaging channels, things like MS Teams, and Slack and so on and so forth. But the key being you can actually do it all in one place. So what we're looking at here is another virtual assistant. In this case, the assistant is deployed as a voice agent, and so you get a voice block here, and it comes pre-built with all of the various SSML technologies that allow us to modify how the voice sounds. So here's how it sounds with no modification.
Okay. In the past 14 days, have you, or anyone you may have seen, tested positive for COVID-19? You can say yes or no.
And now I can come in and modify how this voice is generated, which out of the box already sounds great, but I can add things like pauses, breaks, different pronunciations, changing the pitch or the tone or the cadence of how these sentences are uttered, add breathing marks, all of which helps us enable a more powerful, more human-sounding voice. So for example, I could come in and add a prosodic element. We can slow down how fast we are pronouncing the word okay in this case, and now you can see how it sounds.
Okay. In the past 14 days.
We could slow it down even more.
Okay. In the past 14 days, have you...
And all of these can help introduce a little bit more nuance, a little bit more texture into the voice, of course, and it can all be done directly from the platform. And as you can see, as part of the third goal of the voice engine, we make it very easy to test out all these changes directly in this UI, in this low-code, no-code dashboard. So you can try something out, test it out, see if you like it, and then move on. Now, what are the voice options that are available as part of the engine? There's a number of different things that come and of course are available across many different languages as well. Here we've kind of pre-populated a sentence here that we can try out and listen to. As with anything, you can test out all of these voices and be able to get a feel for how they sound in the wild. So let's take a listen.
Hi there. I can help you find answers to common questions. What can I do for you?
That's male 1. Here's another example.
Hi there. I can help you find answers to common questions. What can I do for you?
We can listen to a few female voices.
Hi there. I can help you find answers to common questions. What can I do for you?
Hi there. I can help you find answers to common questions. What can I do for you?
And finally, we can end with another female voice.
Hi there. I can help you find answers to common questions. What can I do for you?
And as you can tell with each of these voices, they all have their own personality. There's always a nuance, a change in the way that it's pronounced. They all sound very human, but they all have certain quirks, right? Some will have breathing kind of as part of how the speech is synthesized. Some have a little bit more tonality. There's a lot more up and down. And this helps our customers kind of pick and choose what voice they want for their brand. Do we want something that's a little bit more somber, something that's a little bit more to the point? Or do we want something that's a bit sarcastic, maybe more humorous, right? All of these voices are possible in the platform and in various different languages. Now, another thing that's really interesting here is for any language, we can add what's known as hints to help increase the speech recognition for that language, and to also create a notion of certain words that are pronounced differently, to accept different accents, different ways in which people might say those words, similar to how we saw in the voice entity models. Now, I mentioned that different companies will have different requirements for how they want different voices to sound. Now, one thing that the Avaamo platform does as well is this concept of branded voices. We can actually create, through our voice trainer, a full-fledged voice assistant that sounds like an individual using just about 30 to 45 minutes of training data. And the assistant, here in this case, the voice trainer, will guide you through the process of actually recording and training this model. So let's take a look at what that sounds like. So in the trainer, we're given a couple of different things as part of this tooling to help accelerate creating customized voices for your virtual assistant. And this is, again, a voice assistant that's going to sound like a voice talent, or a totally new assistant that sounds like a new person. So in this case, what we can do is actually come in and record various phrases that are typical for virtual assistants, and this is going to get varied. This is going to walk me through various different ways in which I can pronounce different sentences, and when I'm done, the system will actually create a full-fledged voice assistant that sounds like my voice. I am sorry, but I still didn't get that. Let me transfer your call to someone who can help. I am sorry, but I still didn't get that. Let me transfer your call to someone who can help. Great. And now I can click next. That's going to get saved. I can go back and listen to some of my other recorded phrases that I have recorded in the past. Sure. Is Aria the guest for this flight? And over time, as I record more and more utterances, the voice trainer will build a model that sounds like me. And using this, we can create branded voices that are specific, as I mentioned, to the particular positioning that we want for an organization. Do we want a salesy voice? Do we want a marketing voice? Do we want something that's a little bit more to the point, as I mentioned earlier, for maybe IT or HR related use cases? The sky's the limit, and using the branded voice trainer here, we can actually create these various assistants. Now, the last thing we're going to take a look at is an example of a voice agent and what it sounds like. What you're seeing here is the Avaamo dashboard with various different use cases built into this assistant named Sam. And I'm going to actually go ahead and call the assistant directly from the platform in this simulator to test out what my assistant will sound like and to get a feel for the example. Now, the use case you're going to hear is going to be for a customer service example. I'm going to be able to place an order for some just a product here, give my access code, and then go ahead and get a date for that order, all through a voice-based example. So let's give it a listen. And as you can see, the simulator actually allows me to test directly from my browser the full voice example. So I can come in here, I can call this assistant directly from the browser and give a full test to the assistant. Now, what does this allow us to do? It allows us to accelerate how quickly we can build these virtual assistants without having to deploy to a contact center solution before we even get a feeling for what it sounds like in the wild.
Hey there, I'm Sam, your customer service virtual assistant. How can I help you today?
I was hoping to place an order.
I'd be happy to help you with this. I just need your 5-digit access code to authenticate you first.
I have to go look for it.
Sure, take your time.
88593.
Okay, great. I was able to find you in the system. Thanks for the information. Now, which product were you hoping to place an order for?
I need the Acme Pro line.
Okay. What quantity are you hoping to order today?
I need about 55.
All right. What delivery date did you want to set for this?
August 15th would be great.
Excellent. Your order for 55 Acme Pro is set for August 15th, 2022. I'll send you a reminder shortly to your email address on file. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Please feel free to reach out again if you need anything else.
All right, now so that was an example of me calling into the assistant in the simulator to be able to experience placing an order scenario. Now, one interesting thing that I hope you picked up in that conversation was in the middle, I was able to ask it to wait for me while I went and hunted for some piece of information I was looking for. Now, the voice engine out of the box will do certain things in reaction to voice commands. Things like, can you wait a second? Exhibiting holding patterns, right? Or things like, can you slow down, or can you speak up? Right? And this is where we'll automatically update the tone, the pitch, the rhythm, the tone, or the cadence of the voice to match the voice command that was given. And again, these things happen out of the box. So there you have it. That was an overview of Avaamo's voice engine. And this is one of the 3 runtime engines that enables Avaamo's IVAs to automate conversations for the enterprise. Hope you found that interesting, and please make sure to visit avaamo.ai or our YouTube channel for more information. Thank you very much.